Hello? And the connection stay on. Hello, Louis. Hi, guys. Good evening. Hello. Put my tea down. Hello, everyone. I love it. So many night owls. Welcome to the late night love stories. So this one, I wanted to do it really late because I'm a night owl and a bit of an insomniac, so I thought I'd make this for other people who can't ever sleep. Hi from Brazil again. Actually, in Brazil, it's earlier now. It's like, what, 7 o'clock? 6 or 7? Hi, Brazil. Oh, I love you too. Yes, exactly. So I've got my cup of tea and I've got your stories and your queries together. Thank you so much for sharing these, by the way. I've had to go through and pick a handful. I've tried to do the ones that were as different to each other as possible. I think let's just start really with the main question I've been asked is what the story is behind who usually likes boys. So I feel like since that's what's inspired tonight, being a love story of sorts, I'll just talk a little bit about that. It's a true story, as you know, and it's a bit of a love triangle I got myself into, so to speak. And I think really the music video is the best visual description and interpretation of the song, because it's basically reliving the night that all of these emotions like came to the surface. And I started writing it the next day, like after a big party, so I was really hungover and all, you know, like when all your emotions are just at the surface, so it was a lot easier to like find the words because I was writing your feelings. So that's that. And also the other question I've been asked a lot is, so what ends up happening? Well, in a nutshell, we're still friends and he still likes boys. So that's that. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm trying to wave with this angle. There you go. I love doing this. Okay, so let's get into these. I've had to write them down. Some of them were quite explicit, so I've had to like censor this one. I'm going to start with this very juicy one. And by the way, DMs and obviously the question that I put up, everything's anonymous. So this first one is from a guy who basically tells me that it's the story, and he tells me that he got on a flight and he was on a red eye, I think, like a late night flight. So he took some sleeping pills, but he also took a bunch of Valium as well. Don't know why he would do that, but you know what, he did, and it's made the story, so it's okay, and he's okay, so it's fine. So we got on the flight, and obviously he'd taken quite a lot of meds, so by the time he was boarding the flight, he was clinging onto the sides of the plane. And he says that's when he saw a very, how can I put this, like a cute peach on basically a nice bum on one of the air hosts, one of the stewards. And so basically he ends up falling asleep, but then he went on, I think he went on to a dating app like Grindr or something, and he said that he got a message through with his seat number. Long story short, the flight attendant also liked him, even seeing him in that state, and they're still in a fling to this day. So I think what I would say from that is, if somebody can see you in that much of a state and still find you attractive, then I think you're off to a good start, because you can only get better from there, to be honest. All right, so on to our next one. What one should I do next? Oh yeah, okay, so I'll do a question next. So somebody said to me, how can I stop myself from going red when I like someone? It's quite impossible. I think it's tricky because when you like someone, you either can go red if you get nervous, or you can shake. Some people get dry mouth. There's so many different things that can happen. So but going red is one of those things where like you can't even hide it. The only thing I can think is to wear foundation, because surely you can't see like someone blushing through foundation, can you? But actually, no, to be honest, the time that we're in now, we wear face masks, so you can't really see someone blush anyway. Although you also can't see the person that you find attractive through a mask, so I reckon foundation. I'd say foundation. I hope that helps. And our next one. One second, my screen's a little bit messed up. Okay, so where are we? Oh, I love this one. Okay, so this person, so she says that she's very shy when she likes someone, which I'm sure is very common. And this is so cute. So she saw a guy that she liked and she was eating a carrot. And she didn't know what to do. She was just looking at this guy that she liked and he looked at her, they made eye contact basically. And all she could manage to do was just say, hello, I'm eating a carrot. I think that's so adorable. I feel like, I mean, I don't think nothing happens between them, but I reckon every time he sees a carrot, he thinks about that now. Definitely, definitely. I won't stop. Hello. It's so cute. Oh, okay, so I've done the flip. Okay, so I wasn't really sure about how to answer this one. I wasn't really going to answer it, but I'll give it a go. So someone asked me, how do I flirt properly? Now, I'm definitely not saying that I'm like a pro flirter, but I do just get to the point and just tell someone that I like them. I think you kind of have to get a hint that they like you, but that's always a gamble, isn't it? So I feel like not being scared of the rejection maybe is a good start. Because if you think about it, right, like when someone's approached you and they've said they like you, even if you don't like them back, right, you're flattered, aren't you? You're like, oh my God, thank you so much. And you don't think bad of them, you just think, oh my God, respect for having the guts to say something. But I guess there's some, it depends if you're gonna go for like textbook things like, oh, like twirl your hair, or, you know, put your finger around a glass. I don't think when you're actually in a situation, do you actually have time to think like that? Does your brain, because my brain doesn't work like that. I don't have enough self-control in the moment. Do you know what I mean? Straight to the point. Straight to the point, exactly. It's the only way. Oh yeah, oh, Truman Show is one of my favourite films. Do you reckon it's to do with zodiac signs, really? What about like you've got your sun sign, you've got your moon sign, got all the like the time you were born. It depends how much in depth you want to go with that. I don't know really, but then I thought of a few other things like essentials. Make sure you ask questions if you're really interested in someone. Show interest. Make sure you smell good. Listen as well as talk. Make sure you haven't got like lipstick on your teeth, food in your teeth. Maybe don't eat garlic just before. Although actually I really like the smell of garlic, but most people don't, so don't eat garlic just before. What else did I think of? I think that was it. Make sure you smile. Smiling means that you're like having a good time, you know. Alright, Roof Girl. I'm good, how are you? It's so true. I do think it happens naturally. It's like that thing when they say, oh, you know, mirror someone. I think like mirroring body language just happens by itself, doesn't it? I feel like it's too robotic to think like they just put their hand there. I'm just going to put mine. It doesn't work like that. Okay, back to stories. Oh, okay. So I actually had quite a few people ask me similar questions like this, which was to do with being interested in, having feelings for their best friend, and I feel like that's a really common thing. and it's such a fine line, and it's quite a, I'd say probably best avoided generally, because you can lose a friendship if it doesn't really work out. But then there's obviously going to be cases where people have done it and it's worked, so it's quite a hard one. But in this case, this girl said that she ended up kissing her best friend. They've been friends for like 6+ years, I think, and they kissed and then he ghosted her, and she tried to keep up a friendship, and then he just ended up rejecting her completely, which is really sad. But the way that she wrote it to me, what I thought was great was she didn't compromise on being herself, and she still had a lot of respect for the friendship and didn't let herself down. She just stayed true to how she felt. So if that other person couldn't handle it, that is just what had to happen. So that's what I'll say to that. There's no herbs in the teeth if you do. Exactly, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you really can't force it, but you know what, they gave it a go, and sometimes, like, if they didn't, maybe they would have just been like, what if, forever. That's also no fun. Okay, I have to put my glasses on because I can't see. It's all coming really close up. So, by the way, I put a red light on. I should have put some music on, actually. Red light for, you know, like, for the love scenario that we're in. The late night love stories and that. I hope this red glow complements the evening. Alright, so I think I've got one more. I did that one, yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna, this is a very quick one. This was hilarious and cringe at the same time, but it's definitely worth saying. So, I once had a guy tell me that I was hotter than the bottom of his laptop, which my laptop gets really hot because it's got a lot of music on it. So that's, you know, like, thanks, I think, but also not hot. It's not, it didn't work. It didn't work for me at all. The last story. Oh yeah, I like this one. Okay, so these two are actually married now, so this is really cute. So this guy, when he was propositioning his now wife, he decided to tell her about the trousers that he was knitting. I personally think that that's lovely, and I'd find that attractive as well. And I've got one pair of knitted trousers, but how boss is that? A pair of knitting your own trousers, I love that. So they're married now, how lovely. And did you, actually speaking of knitting, did you see, I'm just trying to find the picture. I loved this. Did you see? Oh yeah, I saved it to my phone because I thought it was so adorable. Tom Daley knitting the Olympics. I thought that was honestly so cute. Loved it. Bit of a strange comparison. As a weird, isn't it hotter than the bottom of my laptop? It definitely stuck with me, but it wasn't really like, oh wow, yeah, I really want to date you now. I don't know if anyone really feels comfortable sharing these things in public, do they? Like crush stories and that, but if anyone wants to say any on here, go for it. But I had quite a few people saying this is confidential, so I understand. It's just me singing about my triangles. Do you know what? There's probably definitely someone out there with some knitted speedos. Definitely. I'm going to Google that after. I'm going to probably find a good few images. Right, well, I said I'd do a little stripped version of Usually Likes Boys, like a little late night one, just for fun, why not? So, I think I will. Yeah, in fact, I definitely will. I'm just going to wave at you a little bit more first. Oh wait, here we go. Well, how did you manage